I honestly don't care about the Game Awards 2024. I mean, I know that's a hot take because everybody's covering it right now. And I seem to be wrong because everybody else seems to be talking about it, which is fine. I'll talk about it because that's what you do as somebody who's an entertainer, and it's my job to keep you informed and entertained on what's going on in video games. This is the story, and so I got to cover what I'm not interested in. And, if only like Ubisoft and Bioware realized, you know what, we're only interested in diversity, but you know what, our core audience is gamers, so we're going to actually just make games, even though we're not interested in that. It's bizarre to think about it that way, but they kind of aren't. And they're not interested in being a gaming company. They're not interested in gamers. They're not interested in their own audience, which is the most bizarre thing. Quite the opposite of what we do here. And they're paying for it now. Even in their own little industry circle jerk clout awards, they can't even get nominations. They're blown out all the way around, and it's well-deserved. Maybe this will be the wake-up call, since the sales numbers of Dragon Age and Star Wars Outlaws didn't do anything for them to move the needle just yet, that even their little shilly insiders are not going and supporting them. That is a big deal. So we'll talk about this in just a second. Smash that like and subscribe button, my friends. Join us here as we talk about all things in video games, pop culture, and more. I really appreciate you guys. Even though I don't care about the Game Awards, I do care about mocking these companies because they are woke. They are terrible. I'm a content creator myself, and I have a newsletter. And for signing up for my newsletter, just in case we lose this platform or whatever, I give you a bunch of stuff. So fantasy novel, a sci-fi novel, and a full superhero graphic novel, 66 pages, which continues into a wonderful series. I believe in my books, and I believe in you guys, and that you'll love this stuff that I'm producing, entertainment-wise, without the woke agenda. And I appreciate you all for being there, for signing up for this, and of course supporting the books. We've had some of our best months ever because people have been discovering us, and I really appreciate you guys for being there. So get on here. I'm probably going to work on a Black Friday sale on my store. I'm trying to figure things out with my webmaster. That'll be announced in the newsletter here, so if you want to get stuff on the cheap pretty soon, make sure to be there, and I appreciate you guys. It'll be in the description below, as I said. So the Game Awards nominations were released yesterday, and of course, Astrobot and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth were at the top of the list. It's surprising in that this actually happened, and that they actually did just, go with what gamers wanted. It's not surprising because the stuff that they would have liked to push was not played by anybody, is what it comes down to. The Concords, had all two players, so there was nobody to vote for it. The Dustborn had even less players, and of course, even Dragon Age: The Veilguard and the Star Wars Outlaws. I almost forgot the name because it's just got a memory hold. Just died on the vine. There were not enough players to actually just be interested in it. So even the industry insiders who want these things to win, there's not enough of them to coalesce together to get themselves nominations. Pretty interesting right there. So Game of the Year nominees, this is the big deal. We got Astrobot, which was a huge seller at the beginning of the year that everybody loves. Balatro, which I'm actually not familiar with, but I'll look into. Black Myth Wukong, we know, is one of the biggest sellers out there as well. Elden Ring, Shadow of Erdtree, that is no surprise because there's so many people who play Elden Ring. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which does have a couple of censorship problems, but is mostly a faithful adaptation of Final Fantasy VII, and of course everybody loves that. And Metaphor Refantasio. So these are the 6 that were up there for Game of the Year. And again, this is what gamers are playing. If you just look across any streamers' channels or anything like that, this is the group of what players are playing. And this is surprising because I kind of expected that this would not be the case with the Game Awards here. I really thought it was going to be much more of a navel-gazing industry looking in, trying to say, screw you, gamers, we're going to push our woke awards on all the woke things. And there's a bunch of categories here, but the main takeaway that you're going to find here is Ubisoft got completely snubbed. BioWare got completely snubbed. They're both only in one category, which is the funniest thing ever as a participation trophy. So funny as we're going to get down into the bottom of this, and I'll show you as it goes along. Yes, I'll string you along for that. Best game direction, Astrobot, again up there. Black Myth Wukong up there. Elden Ring, Final Fantasy. You see this, gosh, all the same games, and these are the ones that people love. Surprised Space Marine 2 really isn't up there. That's kind of an odd thing. Best Narrative, Final Fantasy, of course it is up there as well. Silent Hill 2, another remake. Very interesting that the best narratives are remakes because a lot of the stories these days are not quite as much. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, kind of interesting right there. Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. And, of course, Metaphor Refantasio again. Best Art Direction also has Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring. Once again, almost everything up there. Final Fantasy VII didn't make this, which is kind of interesting, given that the entire newness of that game is really the art direction. Very, very bizarre. But they did make Best Score and Music, and I went to the Final Fantasy concert this summer with the Symphony Orchestra. If you haven't seen that tour, guys, it's some beautiful stuff. Definitely well worth the time and effort to go to it. They played a lot of new stuff from the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and excellent, just like all of the Final Fantasy movie always has been. Stellar Blade also made this list on here. Stellar Blade was kind of ignored on the Game Awards for the most part, but it did get into Best Score and Music. You know, art direction probably would have been pretty good on that front. But I think some gamers were a little soured from the censorship debacle that was happening on that level. Audio design, also Final Fantasy, Astrobot, Silent Hill, Call of Duty, just what you'd expect. Best performance, we have some actors here who I'm definitely not familiar with and don't care about. Now, this is where Ubisoft and and Bioware got their participation trophy, and this is ridiculous that this is even a category. Innovation in accessibility. Okay, so this is some like ableism in video games, like kind of thing. Yeah, video games are about like who can play better and who can play faster. So if you don't have that, it doesn't work that well. So I don't know what they did to be more accessible in theory, because I'm pretty sure you just take your controller and smash the same buttons like you do in most games, or keyboard, depending on what platform you're playing on. But Dragon Age the Veilguard, this is their one nomination right here. Yay, accessible. And Star Wars Outlaws. Also, I mean, I don't know. I don't even understand what this means, really. Like, is it accessible for gamers who are disabled, or is it the fact that they have like a space Karen in Star Wars in a wheelchair going around Tatooine? I mean, is it an in-play thing, or is it something else? Very, very weird. But you got Call of Duty on here, Diablo, and Prince of Persia. So I'm gonna guess it's for players who just can't smash those buttons quite as easily. Very bizarre, because at that point, are you just watching a cutscene? And I guess that's what they do, is make a very easy mode for cutscenes to go. There's your participation. But that's it. That's all they got nominated for, because these games were stupid. They were woke. They are getting rejected by gamers. They're even getting rejected by these shill awards, which is hilarious. And so, yeah, you go on further here. Ongoing game. And, of course, we got Final Fantasy again, Fortnite, Helldivers. This is pretty interesting here, which I'm surprised about. We got Best Community Support. Helldivers 2 was on here, which is weird because Helldivers had its extreme controversy where people were just like quitting the game left and right because of the lack of community support and because of the fact that their Discord mods were insane. I don't know how that got on there. That's the one shocker out of this entire thing right here. But we got a bunch of independent games, indie games. And again, you just look at this stuff, and Ubisoft is blown out. Best action game, not on there. No Star Wars Outlaws, nothing. You got this is where you get your Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2, Stellar Blade going up against each other, Helldivers, Black Myth Wukong, and Black Ops 6. Interesting there. Action adventure games. So we do get Star Wars Outlaws on here. No Dragon Age on the list. I doubt it's going to win because nobody actually cared about it. Best RPG, Dragon Age did not make it. Nope. Sorry, guys. No good there. And that's pretty interesting on the level that BioWare is just getting completely torched and shut out of all of this. Family game, we of course got Astrobot again. This has just been way up on it. This is going to just sweep everything. But I have heard, I made a video, saying that I didn't like the Zelda rescuing Link idea of Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. You guys chastised me over that, said it was a very good game, and apparently it has turned out to be a pretty good game. I was wrong, and I'm sorry about that. I don't always, I give my takes. I give them, and sometimes I whiff, and that was it. So, and you could see, it is just an absolute disaster for Ubisoft and Bioware. Couldn't happen to nicer companies. So holy crap, that's a lot of categories. And that is the Game Award finalists this year. Did you see anything interesting that I missed? Let me know down in the comments. Really appreciate you for being there. And of course, I love gloating that these companies are just failing because it is fantastic. Get woke, go broke. You also notice Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League did not make any awards on there. Oops. Rocksteady blown out as well. Fun times. Hit the like and subscribe button and join us here as we talk about all things in the culture. And please sign up for my newsletter in the description below. Get some free books, my friends, and connect with me. And I appreciate you guys for being there.